Hello, I'm Kade.
And I'm Curtis.
And welcome to the show where we turn your afternoon from
Meh
to meh. Cue the intro. Ba, 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 ba. This episode, we talk about popular games from the 80s.
Popular games from the 80s.
Now, I wasn't born yet for a while.
I was born.
Let's go ahead and start chronologically.
Right.
First up, we got Pac-Man from 1980.
1980
itself.
Pac-Man. A circle with a
It's a
piece of pie cut out of it.
Yeah, he's got a mouth, and he goes waka waka waka.
Kind of like Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, just like that guy.
Yep.
It's a video game.
Eats dots. You run over the big dot, and then it allows you to eat ghosts
They turn blue.
for a certain amount of time. And then when that time runs out, then the ghost can kill you.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
Yep. You want to be alive.
You
Yep.
got to eat all the dots to pack to the next level.
Yeah, and then the walls move slightly.
Yes, it's a different maze. We've got that part, right? It's maze. And
It's a maze.
It's a maze that you got to eat the dots in.
Yep.
And then, like, the ghost could corner you. And the ghosts go faster each level.
It's a certified hood classic.
Hood? All right, let's move on. Let's get out of 1980.
We got Donkey Kong 1981.
1981. All right.
Donkey Kong, very similar to Pac-Man, except dots. It's a monkey.
I think you can only do one screen at a time at this time in video games. Just one
Yep.
screen fixed, and you got to move around that
So
one
they
screen.
wanted you to do maximum. So you're going right, left,
Right,
right,
because it's different
left.
than Pac-Man where you could all over eating your dots. Now you gotta up ladder,
Yep.
barrels coming.
Jump over them.
You gotta jump over.
You get
'em.
rolled,
Yep.
literally.
And you gotta get up to. I don't know. I guess you don't really do anything to the giant gorilla Donkey Kong.
Don't you like jump and he like falls off and then
yeah,
you
you
get
just
the
like
princess?
you just get there and now the gorilla, it's bad to get there as it's like you won.
Yay.
So the gorilla is no longer mean once you get up there. Like
Who knows? Anyway.
featured Mario.
Oh yeah, before we knew he was Mario, he's just red and black or red and blue
Yeah.
plumber guy.
The ladder climbing skills and jumping barrels.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
After that one, we have Frogger, also from 1981.
Frogger, also single screen, and then you're a frog who jumps across the road
Yep, get
without
through the
getting
traffic.
squished as the cars go by. And then you got to jump onto logs as the logs are moving to cross the river.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to fill up the lily pads. And once all the lily pads are full, I think there's 4 of them. Have you ever played this game?
I have. Well, I don't know, not the actual OG Frogger, but I've played,
Okay.
there's a billion mobile games that are just Frogger.
Yeah. So I think you got to fill up. You got to make it across 4 times and fill up each lily pad. And then you go to the next level. And where the
Very
cars are
nice.
faster, there's more of them. The logs are faster.
You get squished
forth.
and you die.
Yes.
Yep.
Still single screen. Centipede. That's the next one. 1981 also.
Another classic.
Yeah.
Every computer has it on there because you come with the classic solitaire, pinball, and snake, which is
Snake.
centipede.
Well, snake
Same
is
thing.
kind of different where you eat things and the snake gets longer.
Isn't that what centipede is?
No, centipede is where the snake is coming down and you're shooting up and you got to shoot all the pieces in them. And if you hit it, a bullet hits it in the middle, it busts it into 2 snakes.
Oh.
And now 2 snakes are coming down.
It's like Galaga.
And then it's a bunch. Well, it's single screen. No, because Galaga is like what?
Ships and
Ships
a bunch
coming.
of different stuff.
But this is a snake weaving through, I think,
I see.
mushrooms. And when you shoot the piece of the centipede, it turns into a mushroom.
And then Mario eats it and gets big. I remember. Classic. Yes.
I actually owned the actual full-size video game with the ball. So it's like ball mouse, like a trackball on it, and there's a button. So button for fire and the trackball. And I actually owned that whole full-size video game.
Oh, like the cabinet? Like it's
Yeah,
huge?
the whole actual
Wow.
real built in 1981, where the screen's all like, weighs 10,000 pounds because it's glass.
Oh yeah, and there's like
and it's this
air
big
in it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a vacuum. No, there's no air in it.
There's no air.
Anyways, yeah, that cost me $300.
Oh wow! Nowadays it's probably a lot more.
Oh yeah, because now it's probably a collector item. There, at the time I bought it, it was junk.
Nice.
The screen's all like burnt in. You see all the mushrooms, and it's like you turn it on, and it's like, is it on? I guess it glows a little bit brighter.
After that centipede, we have Miss Pac-Man from 1982.
Yep. So
I only played Miss Pac-Man.
Everyone got tired of just a circle with the pie cut out, eating dots. So they had to put a bow on it.
Yeah. And then you do the same thing. It's
that
a maze
exactly
and there's
it.
Ghosts.
No, I think on Miss Pac-Man you had cherries or fruits, depending on what level you came out.
The middle, and
they would just go across. So that was nice. You got the bow, and then fruits that would bounce across on each level. So that's different. Pac-Man,
slightly different.
Pac-Man didn't have that. No bow, no fruits.
No bow, no fruit.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So you could get extra points. Which mean nothing.
Yes.
Or to get more points than the previous.
After Miss Pac-Man, we have Pole Position.
Pole Position.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a race car game. I loved this game.
Like F-Zero. Kind of.
Yeah. Except it's, F1 cars.
Okay.
Instead of fictional
spaceships,
floating racing pod things. So my family used to go out to dinner or to breakfast every once in a while on Saturday morning. And outside of the breakfast place, they had a little arcade.
Oh, heck yeah.
And they had Pole Position in it. And I always wanted to play Pole Position. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because it has the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
And the gas pedal.
I love those in the arcades.
And, and it has the awesome 8-bit graphics. And the, 5 frames a second.
That's incredibly
the car that they can slightly see when you turn the wheel. And then...
Very nice.
So, yeah, my dad gave me a quarter once, and I got to play it.
Nice.
I just basically slammed into another car and blew up, and the game was over. Waste a quarter.
That was a great quarter. After Pole Position, we have the absolute classic. Everybody knows Mario Bros.
Mario Bros.
From 1983.
So we get to see Mario again in his own video game.
And he has a name. It's not just Jumpman.
Little guy with a hat.
Yep.
He's now named Mario.
Then he eats the mushrooms from the centipede, and he becomes big guy with a hat.
And he can bust blocks, and you got to flip over. We're still on single screen.
You just go to the right.
One screen, and you got to... Yeah, if you go to the right, then you pop out on the left.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Super Mario Bros. No, this is Mario Bros.
This is the one with it's got the tubes on the side, and there's stuff coming at you.
They're turtles.
Yeah.
And you gotta jump underneath the turtle, which flips them over. Then you gotta run up and knock
jump on them.
the turtle shell off.
And
and it
makes the floor go. It's got chain link floor because it's all bounced. Whatever.
No.
Only
jumping up knocks the block, and then. Or you can hit the POW, and it flips everything over.
Everything gets flipped.
Yes, and then you got to try to run and knock all the turtles off, which then takes you next level where the turtles are a little faster or more turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mario Bros.
Very nice.
1983.
After that, we have Track and Field, also 1983.
1983. I think that's crazy because I played a Track and Field game. But it was on the Nintendo. That's what we called it. I know today they refer to it as the NES.
Yeah, the NES.
If you were alive at the time, you called it Nintendo because there was nothing else.
Yeah, there was no SNES or
whatever. There was nothing. It was the Nintendo. And, so Track and Field, when you bought that game, it came with this big pad.
Yeah, kind of like the Wii Fit nowadays.
Yeah, except this is just a pad with buttons on it. and you're supposed to be like running on the circles on the pads, and the faster you run, the faster you run the game. You do like the long jump, run, jump up as high as you can jump, and then that has high. And so we were like,
I can already think.
Why are you just jumping, and then you only get the distance from the amount you jump up and jump back? So we started, I was like, and your feet doesn't run that fast.
Yeah.
Your hands can slap buttons faster.
Oh, yeah.
So we just get on the ground like, jump.
And then just never put your hands back down.
Right.
High score.
But there's a limit, see?
Oh.
So, like, they know that, okay, something's wrong, and just boom, no good. So you have to find where the end is, where you come down, boom, to see who gets the closest to the end right before it gets, for it's no good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. That was track and field. Boom. Yeah. That was the game.
All right. After track and field, we have Dragon's Lair from
Dragon's Lair. Oh, man.
I don't know what this is.
This was a video game that was on Laserdisc. So a Laserdisc is a giant DVD. Okay. So...
like a big record?
It's a record size, but it's a DVD.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, and it's for video. A record is like...
yeah, audio with the pin.
Audio, yeah. This is laser, like just like a CD or a DVD or a Blu-ray, except they're just this big. And because it's on Laserdisc, it's video. Mm-hmm. So all it is playing. You hear this Dirk the Daring, I think, is the guy, and it's cartoon. So it's no longer like everyone you see it in the arcade, and you're like, "Whoa, check out those graphics!" Because it's not pixelated. Not pixelated, because it's just playing a cartoon on a Laserdisc.
Nice.
So you had to get to the point where you had to press the button or the joystick in a certain direction at that exact moment when it was playing, and then it would play the chapter of whatever you did. Oh, you went left, boom, and then it shows the cartoon video of when you have, now you have to hit your sword button. Boom, sword. Oh, you didn't. Hit it in time. Oh, and you die.
It's like a pick-your-own-adventure game instead of a book.
But because the graphics were so crazy, just watching I was like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I want to play that game. And then when you play it...
it's like real life.
It's like, yeah. And it was just like, yeah, it's not that interactive like all the other video games. Because you're like, wait a minute, I'm dead already.
Oh, man.
And that was like... because it was an expensive, like crazy video game. Yeah, I think it was like 50 cents.
Ooh.
But still, all the other games are a quarter. These are 2 quarters. I can play 2 Marios.
Yeah.
Or 1. And that, it's actually, you hit the jump button, it jumps, not, dang it. You know what I mean?
I missed it.
Yeah. Game's over. Waste 50 cents. 15 seconds.
Gotcha. Well, after that one, we're going into 1984 for Tetris. I still play it to this day.
Tetris. I remember playing Tetris. So there was a couple of versions on the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. There's like 50 billion of them now,
and the original one I thought was amazing. And then they came out with some new Tetris, and it was also called Tetris. And I was like, what? This is a different Tetris. Now, the game's the same, but the graphics were different. And I liked the original one, but I think something was wrong with the original one. Probably some copyright issue with the Russian people who made it or something like that.
Yeah, there's some movie out it you can watch nowadays.
But that original version was, I just thought, I don't know. At the time, it was just like so much better. But, you got the blocks falling, and then you had to get them in order, and then create a whole line, and that line disappears.
Yeah, and you want to get the Tetris with the 1x4, so you can get max points.
Right. You line up the
you get all
4
lines
ready to go in one, and you come down, boom!
Yeah.
4 lines all at once.
Yeah.
Bam.
Good stuff. Love Tetris.
Yeah.
After Tetris, we have Duck Hunt, also from 1984.
Duck Hunt. So, I didn't get the Nintendo that came with Duck Hunt. I got the one that came with Super Mario Bros.
Arguably better.
And I didn't even have that on our list.
Super Mario Bros?
Yeah, we just have Mario Bros.
Well, Super Mario Bros. Good.
But yeah, what did you call Duck Hunt?
I said it was the first foray into humanity's augmented reality gaming.
It is. I never thought about it like that because basically
you're doing something in real life.
You had a gun, and then the gun had a lens in it, and when you hit the trigger, the whole screen would go flashed. The whole screen would go in black except for the one spot
where the duck is.
Where the duck was.
Yeah.
And if the lens was lined up and saw the flash, then you hit the duck.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming there was probably some different code depending on which duck, because there's multiple ducks flying.
Yeah, there's probably some defining feature.
Maybe it's that was a yellow flash and this was a red flash. But I remember I think we were in Susanville, California one time, which is like in the forest, where it's like cold. It's a forest.
Where the bears live?
Yes. And there was a bar there, and the bar had one of those big screen TVs, like the old school console, like
giant like LCDs that were like
no, there's no such thing as LCDs. They were analog,
the whatever
CRT projectors, like
CRT.
at the bottom that like mirrored up and then came through.
Yeah, and they're super fat.
Yeah, super fat, and we would and they had a Duck Hunt game on that freaking screen.
Oh, nice.
And it was like, I don't know. I mean, at the time it felt massive, but our TV in the living room
was also
which was
massive.
Big, which we thought was a big TV, was 19 inches. So that big screen was probably a 40-inch screen.
Oh my goodness!
Man, we just thought it was this massive
Absolutely
screen.
huge.
It was probably a 40-inch screen. It probably wasn't anything. Because our big screen, the living room TV was 19-inch TV.
That's like the size of a book.
But it was a big screen.
Back in the day.
Anyways, there was Duck Hunt.
I loved my TV.
So let's go to the next one. Paperboy, 1985.
I know of Paperboy.
Paperboy.
You're a boy that throws the paper at the houses. You're riding in the street.
Riding your bike.
You gotta like avoid potholes or something.
And you gotta chuck your paper. And you can hit stuff. And you gotta try to land the paper on the
like the doorstep.
Porch. Yeah, the doorstep.
Area.
Yeah. Yep. That's what that game was.
That's the game. Next up after that, we got Castlevania.
Castlevania, I thought was awesome.
A lot more high fantasy than Paperboy.
Because, Paperboy, I mean, we've moved the style of game into side scrollers.
Yeah.
Paperboy was kind of a side scroller because it was kind of like a look top down angle moving, but it was more than one screen, like the Pac-Man and Frogger and Centipede and all those. And the Castlevania is a side scroller, and you got a whip, and you can you can upgrade your whip, and then you can get other weapons, switch out your weapons for like chuck axes.
Yeah, the holy water.
Yep, throw holy water. Yep. Yeah.
There's you could like go limp mode too and like control the whip, right?
I don't think that was on the first Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
I think that was later Castlevania. Yeah, I think you're thinking like Castlevania 3 when the Super Nintendo came out, which I think they now call the SNES or SNES.
Yeah, SNES.
But we call it Super Nintendo. But I think that was like where they just told them
you go limp and then you would like fling it around. Yeah.
But we're talking about the original Castlevania, which I think was still pretty awesome because of all the different weapons you could get.
Yeah.
Go up
Upgrades.
and then go around as you go through the castle and kill all those evil
vampire dudes.
Vampire guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Then on to 1986, we have The Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda. I think it was amazing. I bought it original, so I got the gold cartridge.
Oh yeah, we still have it.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, we do.
I thought I'd chucked
We could probably sell it. It's over there in those boxes.
Yeah. So this was like the first video game that had a battery in it that could remember and save your progress. It wasn't now. You turn on the game and you start a new game every time. Now you can have saved game where you can progress through because it's a massive adventure because it takes a long time. I don't know if you're probably trying to play the original Legend of Zelda. It's probably like, oh yeah, 8 hours and it's done and over. But at that time, you were like, you played for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? If you played for an hour, you're like, dude, what is wrong with you? Play video games for an hour. Whoa. Now it's an hour. Like, you only played game for an hour?
I know everybody's playing. I've been playing for 12.
So you need to have to save that game progress. But yeah, so it was like each screen, and then as you moved the map, it would move to that one, and that one.
Yeah.
And then you had the underground where you went into the
and you had the shield. And you had to block They would shoot walnuts at you or something.
Yeah.
You had to go wank.
Yep.
The little red guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Red Octoroks.
And then you would go. That was.
Yep. And if you had full hearts, you could
and it would shoot a laser,
a flashing
or
white swordy thing at them.
Yeah.
But if you got hurt, then you could only just sword.
Yep. Then we have, after Legend of Zelda, we have Metroid from 1986 as well.
I can't believe Metroid and Legend of Zelda. I think Metroid is so much more Legend of Zelda was good.
Yeah.
But Metroid, because it's like a side scroller adventure.
And like an up scroller, and
you can go
move
all
everywhere.
over the map. And instead of just like Link was just like a little block guy.
Yeah, Metroid's there's a lady.
Metroid,
Well, you couldn't tell it was a lady at the time.
Yeah, at the time it was a dude.
Suit of armor.
I don't know. Yes, it was a person.
Yeah, and you could tell
and
it was a person.
they had a gun and jumped, and their legs moved when they jumped. You could see the jump action and the land action, and you could roll into the ball,
go into the ball,
drop bombs. Massive map of adventure going all over the place.
Same year as Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
it seems
Metroid. I mean, as far as like, man, the development of Metroid, that was an awesome idea for that time period.
Yeah,
because that's like crazy. But I think that is the time that a video game started getting crazy. Because if you look at this next one, 1987, only a year later, you got Contra.
Very similar to Metroid.
I guess more of a regular side scroller.
Yeah, you don't really go up.
But the coolest part about Contra was 2-player simultaneous.
Ooh, multiplayer.
Yeah, and the best gun in the game, that spread blaster, where it just blow. And you got both people with spread blast. You have so many bullets, the thing you can barely move. It's like you can tell that computer's starting to slow down
if you start shooting too much. You only get so many things on the screen,
right? Yeah, but it was awesome because you could play 2-player co-op.
That's super cool.
Which is, I think that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty neat.
Yeah.
After Contra, we have Punch-Out! 1987.
Also 1987 Punch-Out! I think that was cool. At the time, it was called
Mike
Tyson's Punch-Out!
Yeah, I remember that. And I wasn't alive, but
the boss was Mike Tyson. And I guess later on,
he was like huge.
Some license. Yeah. I mean, you play this little tiny guy.
He had to be like 3'1".
Even the first guy that you're playing against is like twice the size of you.
Yeah, he's huge.
By the time you get up to, what is his name? That Bald Bull, I think his name was.
Yeah, and he's like,
and then he comes running at you with his head, like, and you had to punch him right when he runs it, so you don't get hit. Otherwise, you're like knocked down.
Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just this little tiny guy. Totally. The graphics just don't work out. But if you make it all the way to Mike Tyson, it's just like the whole screen, and you're this little guy. Like, yeah, you can really knock that out. Yeah, you wouldn't even have made it that far.
Yeah,
but I think that was funny though. It was a great game. Really I thought it was a great game. It was funny, and in between the levels, you'd have like your coach, and then you're running in between each fight. Doing
the training.
Yeah.
The Rocky montage.
That was funny.
After Punch-Out, we have Zelda 2, Adventure of Link.
Zelda 2.
This is the side-scroller.
Side-scroller
as opposed to the top-downer.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Adventure of Link because it was like, instead of just like, walk, you're a person again.
Yeah, it was kind of like Metroid. You were a guy.
You can jump. Yeah. You can jump, and you learn different sword abilities as time went on. So you could soared up and you could soar down when you jumped. You know what I mean? So you could jump on something and tag something. But you had to get to the point where you learned that ability. So as you went through the castles, you got those abilities. You know, oh, you can now soar down when you jump. You can now soar up when you jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And different stuff as you went through. I don't know. I just loved that game. I don't think it was very popular among Zeldas.
No, I heard a lot of people didn't like it.
But because it was totally different. But for some reason, I just loved it. One time, I literally stayed up all night long playing that game.
That's unheard of back then. Nobody did that.
Right. And I think that's probably why... I love it so much because I literally stayed up till the sun came up.
Dang. I do that nowadays, but sometimes.
But yeah, I literally played it all night long, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Very cool. After that, we have Mega Man, 1987.
Mega Man, I think that was pretty cool too. Similar to Castlevania.
Yep.
Where you have different weapons. Except this is where you got to...
You kill the boss to get a different weapon.
And then you get their weapon.
Yeah, you kill Drill Man and he gives you can shoot a drill bit at somebody. And it like
but
goes
I don't
through.
think that's probably like Mega Man 7 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 15. I don't know. The one that I played is way later.
But I think it was still very cool that you could get additional weapons as you went through all the different levels. And it was pretty cool.
All right. Last up on the list here, we have SimCity at 1989.
End of the 90s, or end of the 80s there, 1989, SimCity. I thought that was... I think they still make SimCity still a game.
It is still a game.
Obviously, there's the Sims out there, which is a spin-off.
Yeah, Sims 4.
Because they made all kind of Sims after SimCity. But SimCity is where you got to build a city. You get like a hunk of land, and there's like maybe a river or a mountain or something in there. And then you got to put in the roads, put in your water lines, put in your power lines. Is this going to be residential or commercial or industrial? You know, did you make too many turns in your road and create bad traffic?
Crazy backup.
Your power plant is coal, and now it's right next to your residential, and now there's
everyone's
getting
poisoned.
And yeah. That's SimCity. But I was like, I guess that was probably like the first simulator.
Yeah.
Is the start of you could simulate something in real life.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty...
Nowadays, they have these simulators like work at a job simulator, and you're real time, sit at a desk doing nothing for 8 hours, but...
How do you know that that's a simulator? You're not actually virtually controlling an actual job someplace.
You know, they have those. They have like these food places in Japan where there's the people that work at home and they control robots, and they like bring you water and stuff.
Bring you water.
Yeah, they have like... So at the table, they have a robot, and he like talks to you and takes your order. And then he like goes offline.
You like a restaurant?
And then he takes control of the waiter robot, which goes and gets the food from the
you're saying
real
the guy,
chef.
Whoever the guy is just going
controlling
between
robots and just bringing you stuff.
Whoever the controller of the robot
Yeah, you don't see any real person there except for the other diners.
Sounds really expensive.
Yeah. It does.
Why not just have the guy in there?
Well, it's Japan, you know. They live in the future.
They live in the future.
Yeah, they have heated toilets. Whoa, that's futuristic.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all we have for today. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can catch us next time where we talk about Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, eating pilk, and drinking Snickles. Bye-bye.
Bye.